You're watching Rain Night Gaming.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Rain Night Gaming. I'm Rain Night, and in today's video we're continuing on with our series on looking at decks that I think you could play for the Newtype challenge and what I might play for the Newtype challenge. In this video we are going off what we actually planned to do earlier in the week, well, last week, is I was planning on going to locals and playing Burple, Barbaros Federation Blue, kind of deal. That's a fun deck, but I came across a couple builds of this green blue wing deck that is it's a very heavy like Xeon thin wing, and it was a lot of fun. Had some cool different things in it I thought you guys might be interested in. So if you like these kind of videos, let me know in the comments down below. Always love hearing from you guys. In this video we are going to discuss its deck list, its strengths, its weaknesses, how I did in the tournament, and how I think I would change it for maybe the next tournament. So starting right off, let's just do the pilots first to get them out of the way, because it's probably the least interesting of the things. We've got 4 Heero. You know, you're playing wing, you gotta play Heero. And then we're playing 4 Amuro, just because if you're playing any blue in this meta, you're playing Amuro and he's so good. Just go ahead and do the commands and the bases as well, because we don't play a lot. We play 2 of Show of Resolve. This is just because you gotta have card draw. And then we're playing 4 the Tall Goose base. And this is probably the most popular blue base there is right now. As far as looking at these cards, what I think I need to add to the deck is I'm not playing enough bases. So that's something we'll go into a little bit later. I don't think I could really add pilots, but I mean, I could see myself maybe adding 2 if I really wanted to, because at times it did seem like I was a little pilot starved. So let's go into the low end first here and work our way up. We are playing 4 of the structure deck Zaku II. This is just probably one of the better early game attackers, just because it's able to get over those early bases. Super easy. Going in with the just vanilla Zaku II. This is just one of those low to ground gem units that is really popular and really powerful. And then of course you have to play your ping engine. So you play your gun tank at 4. These are kind of a necessary evil just to make sure your trades are what you need to be and get a maybe non-combat removal. Super important. I would like to take them out, but I just haven't really figured out a way to take them out. So if you guys have any ideas on that, I'm curious. Get into our 3s. This is a new one. I saw this in a video. I forget the guy's name. I'll try to put it on the screen somewhere if I can think of it. But this is a cool one when you're playing a lot of green stuff. This is a card that just lets you target one of your green units and it can swing over active units that have 4 AP or less. So yeah, that just lets you swing over some of those early game stuff. It's just a lot of fun. Then kind of working in conjunction with that, I'm playing 2 Rickdoms. You know, Rickdom, you want to be able to swing over units just so you get that breach effect, and it works really good with him. This is another one I think I could shuffle around the actual amounts, because, you know, when I built this deck, it's kind of built between 3 different versions of this deck, so, you know, live and learn. Continuing on, we are playing 4 ReZELs. Just, you know, it's the vanilla 4/3. It's just such a good card. And then we go right into our 4s, and I wanted to pop this guy in here with these because it's kind of like not our in-game engine. This is just kind of, you know, help clean up with more combat removal. You know, it pings for 1 more. Then we go into kind of our boss monsters. We play 1 of Gundam from the set and 3 of Gundam from the structure deck. This could easily be 4 from the structure deck if you really wanted to. It's just such a good card. It's just one of those things that works with Amuro, and it gives all kinds of benefits. So good. Then we do play 1 of the new card, the new Heavy Arms. This one, I'm up in the air on. I think it's a really good card. But the way the meta is shaping up right now, shaping up, is a little slow. So I don't know. I have to look at it. It's pretty good though. I think if you're playing more of the Operation Meteor cards, this is better. When I'm playing half and half like I am now, it's maybe not as good. Then we go into our end game. Play 4 of Wing. I mean, obviously, it's such a good card. It's just awesome. And then you go into your 4 Wing Zeros. I did end up feeling like this was maybe a little heavy at the end. You know, you could do something like this. Maybe another one of these. I don't know. And maybe drop in some maybe the breachers from Operation Meteor or something like that. But this is the set right here that I'm working with. And I did pretty darn good. So how did locals go? Locals were pretty darn good. We went to the Soldiery in Columbus. Super fun place. Always love it. The Columbus crowd of players is super friendly, super supportive of everybody. There was one funny thing. We just kept on giving one guy all our bulk because he was trying to get somebody else into the game. So that was really cool. Had a nice little, I think it was like 10 people maybe. It wasn't huge, but it was a good group. I got the bye in the first round, but then we had 3 really cool matches. How did the deck perform? You know, obviously good. There's definitely some revisions I would make. I felt like, yes, we play a lot of low to the ground stuff, but even the rushier style decks were outrushing us a little bit. We played a purple deck, then we played a clan deck, and you know, we were able to hold them off at the beginning and then equal off at the end and just take over with our wing cards, which is basically what the deck wants to do. There are definitely some substitutions I think I will make. I'll point those out in a minute. But realistically, I probably couldn't have asked for the first 2 games to go any better. The third game did not go to plan in the finals. We went against a 1-year war deck, and that really pointed out an issue with the deck is, yes, it's a little rushier, but it can't rush alongside direct rush decks. The way it's built right now, I think if I cut back on my high end slightly, bolstered the early and mid game, I think it would go a lot better because the turns like, you know, 5 and 6 and 7 were just so bald for me. You know, we end up losing the game right there. So that's kind of what happened there. So I think some things I might change is add in some of the breachers. I think that'd be a really good idea. So I'm going to try some of that stuff out if I do decide to play this thing. You know, in the Newtype challenge, I'm probably going to even out the curve a little bit and not have that bald section in between my 4s and my 6s. So that's a big change right there. If you guys do want to see those matches in their entirety, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll put those out there. So let's take a look at some of the cards that I would add in. Or at least maybe sub. I think having more early game is a great idea. It's going to let you keep up the amount of cards going into it with your opponent. So maybe some gems, possibly a G fighter could be something you might want to mix in there because it's going to give you an early link potential. But I'm a little iffy on that. One thing I definitely think, you need to sell out more on this new card that well, it's not new, it's from the first set. But it does let you swing over any of those non-rested units. So that's going to let you get rid of units that, you know, maybe they're setting up on and just wanting to blow you out in the next turn. Since we are not playing any blockers, I think ramp's important. I took the ramp out and I regret it. Because with the ramp, those bald sections I was just talking about, you get to skip those. So I think I would probably play at least 2, maybe 4. That's a possibility. Also bases, I think we played 4 bases and that was not enough. I don't know if I'd play the desert base. That it may be an okay idea, but I feel like I need more interaction. So I'd probably play the base that does the resting. So do that kind of stuff. Then as far as some of the more wing-oriented stuff or Operation Meteor, I think some of the breacher packs could be pretty important. You know, this, if you ran into more decks with blockers, and again, just some more breach on both ends. And it's a 4 and a 5, so, you know, that could fix that bald area a little bit. Then I actually do think Deathscythe would be a great idea. 1, it lets you successfully trade with people, and 2, it gives you that ramp to get to your late game. And then obviously you would want to play the pilots, because, you know, maybe. Although I would say if you play Shenlong, you probably don't need to play the pilot, just because you're just kind of using it as a breacher. For Deathscythe, you probably do want to play the pilot, just because, you know, you want him to get out there and do stuff, but you don't have to, because it's just a pair with an Operation Meteor pilot, so you could go either way with that. It'll be fun to play around with it. Those would be the changes that I think I would make to the deck. You know, I have to work with the numbers a little bit, but this is definitely high on my list of possibilities to run. The only problem is its weakest point is against 1 Year War. It's 1 Year War. It's awesome. And there's going to be a lot of 1 Year War in this the second season of the Newtype challenge. So we'll have to look at that. But this does play good against like blue-white blocker. It plays good against ping. It plays good against basically everything else in the meta, just because the low end to high end, it lets you kind of balance out versus all that different. But okay, guys, that's going to be it from me. Hopefully you like these videos. Hopefully you go down, like, subscribe. I am going to be putting out a deck profile from the guy that won the thing with 1 Year War. I know some of you aren't big 1 Year War fans because they haven't really changed much, but I'm going to treat that video more of like, let's learn about 1 Year War so we can learn how to play against it and why it's so good. But hey, you guys know what I always say. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And I'll see you in the next one. See ya.